Hi everyone, Blugoblin here. Thank you for joining me for this comic book review for books that came out on the week of April 12th, 2017. Yeah. Got a lot to talk about. Now, once again, I apologize for the lateness there. And I'm still standing up I'm still going to do my new series, Blue versus Gold. Probably record the first episode right after I get done with this. When it gets uploaded, though, I have no idea. We got 2 indies, and the rest are from those other 2 companies that I don't think need mentioning. Alright, we're going to start with Image. We're going to start off with I Hate Fairyland, number 12. Jesus. This was incredibly fun. Incredibly fun. Lots of violence. Lots of bad puns. And a what the fuck ending that just made me cringe yet laugh at the same time. I don't think a comic book that I have ever read has ever done that. Made my skin crawl yet at the same time made me laugh. It's very... the ending of this issue is very dark. Very dark and totally unexpected. Gertrude trying to embrace her samurai-ness decides to rescue a baby from a village of mushroom people, and the town is called the town of Shiitake. Oh, sweet Christ. Fun issue. Immensely fun. Love it. It's great. I give it 3.5 out of 5. Moving on to IDW with My Little Pony Legends of Magic number 1. Yeah, I jumped on board to another My Little Pony series. No, I'm not buying Friends Forever. Despite what I've been told about it. I've been told it's very cute and very versatile to readers of all ages. Whatever, I can only afford so much. But this seems like a really good spin-off series from the Friendship is Magic series, and here it's basically an origin story of Star Swirl, the wizard up here. It's an origin story involving him when he was Princess Celestia and Princess Luna's tutor. And we get to see some glimpses of Celestia and Luna's childhood and everything, and I gotta say, Princess Celestia was a bit of a dick to her sister. It's just classic old school big sister bullying. I thought, okay, that's a bit of a switch. When you see how pure the character of Princess Celestia is portrayed on TV and portrayed in the books now, it's kind of weird to see her act like such a bitch. It is, but it's a tale of how their bond got strengthened. Once they realized, hey, family comes first and all that bullshit, and learn to get along, and heart of the cards, and always recycle, stay in school, and stay off drugs, and blah blah blah. All that good PSA bullshit that can sell a book or sell a TV show, but despite that, this was still really entertaining, still really fun. I don't know why Twilight's on the cover; she's not in the book. But anyway, a good start nonetheless. Not bad. I give it a 3.5 as well. Let's move on to the DC stuff. Action Comics number 977. Well, here it is, folks. If you've been begging for yet another retelling of Superman's childhood, his origin story, if you've been begging for yet another retelling of it, well, here you go. You got your wish. That's pretty much all this was. It was basically another retelling of Superman's origin, because ever since his little tiff with Mixia Spitlick, he's feeling like something's missing. Something's off. It's like everything's going a little too perfect, and he's kind of coming off looking a little paranoid, but I get it. When something's going on, we've all been there. When things seem like they're going off a little too good, if it may be a little too good to be true, something may be off, and a lot of people from time to time, they worry about it, so there you go. And the issue ends on a whole, there's someone watching me scenario. I'll go ahead and give that away. This wasn't bad. Seeing Superman react to actually seeing his beginnings, it was good. It was entertaining. I liked it. I thought the artwork was great. The writing was solid. This was a solid hit. I give it maybe a 4. Hi. Let's move on to Detective Comics 954. Okay. The League of Shadows threat continues to loom over Batman and his little group. Ra's al Ghul steps in. It's Ra's al Ghul confronting Batman in the Batcave. What the fuck do you think happens? Enough said. A 4. The Flash, number 20. Sorry about the glare. There we go. Flash, number 20. The star of this issue was Iris West. And I thought she was done very well. The character development is good. Sticking to her reporter roots, yet at the same time concerned about, her future with Barry. Nice. Very nicely done. Flash does plays a pivotal role in here, but it's mostly to help further develop Iris. Iris hasn't really gotten a true character focus since the New 52 stuff started. It's like Barry and Iris' marriage was wiped out, and it looks like DC slowly trying to build their relationship back up. Who knows? This could really go somewhere, but as it is, it was really good. But that cliffhanger, god damn. Well played, DC. I truly did not see that coming. But I'm kind of worried at where this could go. Don't let me down, DC. You got something good going, but we're probably going to take a break from this story to focus on the button. Ooh, the button. We're approaching the button. But as this issue goes, it was good. I give it a 4 as well. Boom! Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, number 18. This is part 1 of Prism of Time. Well, Kyle Rayner is no longer the White Lantern. He is now back to being green. Apparently, he struggled so hard to revitalize the blue light and try to spread the blue light of hope and hopefully create a new Blue Lantern Corps that his white ring shattered into several other rings, but he was able to get a hold of the green ring. So now he is a Green Lantern again. And to see the greens and the yellows working together, that's one thing. But at least they're sticking true to character. There's still some animosity there. But to see, of all people, to step in and be the adults in this conversation between the greens and the yellows, that was a nice touch. Of all people, Guy Gardner is the voice of reason. He's the adult in this issue. And it's even weirder to see him and Arkilla work as a solid team. I guess you could say they have decided to team together out of mutual respect, since since, oh, I don't know, Guy Gardner kicked the shit out of Arkilla without a green ring on. I guess Arkilla does, in fact, respect him now since he was able to best him in a fist fight. Not bad. Really good issue. Give it a 3.5. Supergirl number 8. Nice. This is Kara reconnecting with Cal and getting to know the rest of her family, i.e. Lois and John. And John just comes off, Superboy just comes off as that awkward dork who tries way too hard to get acquainted with somebody. Whether it be friend, family member, or a loved one and everything, he just tries so goddamn hard to make a good first impression with Kara. You know, it's just like, you know, you look just like your father did when he was a boy and all that stuff. And it's like, because remember, Kara is the older cousin. Because her pod was knocked off course, she was supposed to be the one to raise Cal into Superman. She was supposed to be his nanny. And I like that they stuck with that. And then there's some espionage storytelling going on with the DEO and Catco and everything. And that's all well and good. But it was that last page that truly got my attention. Yeah. Nice. Nice touch. 3.5. Oh boy. Titans number 10. You're get a good look at that. Oh god. This issue was bleh. This issue really was bleh. Okay, let me get this straight. The Fearsome Five get a hold of the Titans. They have Nightwing and Wally West Flash, held captive. They're going to try and steal Wally's Speed Force. The rest of the Titans jump in. The Fearsome Five take them down. I'm spoiling the hell out of this book because I don't care. Bumblebee steps in. Okay, this is where I found the problem with the book. I understand if you want to go for character spotlighting. I understand that. Sometimes it's necessary to build a character up. Say if said character was not interesting, you know, at one point, and you want to build that interest up. I get that. But how come the Five are easily able to take care of the Titans, and then when Bumblebee shows up, she's able to hold her own against all of them all by herself? That makes no goddamn sense. It's just, it is what it is. Look, Dan Abnett, he's a great writer, but this one was what I would call a swing and a miss. I give it a 2.5. Just a little tired, folks, but I'm going through this. We're ending the DC pile with Wonder Woman number 20. This is the next part of the God Watch storyline, and I gotta say, take a look at that. That is Circe the Weaver. It's good to see Circe again. She's had so many different looks. It's, you know, it's only easier to keep track of her when she keeps introducing herself as Circe. But Circe is called upon when I keep forgetting her name. But it's the lady whose daughter's being held captive by the two douchebag gods who are wanting the location of Themyscira because their father's there and blah blah blah. There was a couple of hiccups in here. First off, we see Diana in a fight with Cheetah, and as soon as we're done with that part of the book, we're going back to the story with the doctor trying to save her daughter and everything. And then the next time we see Wonder Woman, she's in the middle of a battle between soldiers and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck happened to Cheetah? what was the resolution of that fight between her and Cheetah? What was the payoff? What happened there? That didn't make any sense. It's like they basically just pretty much forgot about Cheetah halfway through the book. It's like, hello, Diana was getting scratched up, cut up, and everything in this fight with Cheetah, and then next time we see her, she looks all healed up and she's dodging bullets in the middle of a battle. Like, what the fuck happened here? That's a major flaw. And then when this other character finds out about where her daughter truly is and everything, I'm not going to ruin the ending of there, but it's something that even Cersei's like, I don't want no part of that. So, something's coming. But it's that major hiccup of just flat out forgetting about Cheetah really hurts this book. And I hate to say it, but it's the truth. I mean, Greg Rucka, he does know his shit about this character, but to just brush Cheetah off to the side like that with no rhyme, no reason whatsoever, that does tremendously hurt this book, and it knocks it all the way down to a 3 out of 5. Alright, let's move on to the Marvel stuff. Starting off with The Amazing Spider-Man number 744. Or if you're keeping score, it's issue 26. We all know what this is. This is 744. The Silver Sable has returned. Turns out she faked her death. Gee, never seen that in a Marvel book before. Oh, God. Somebody call Dan Slott and tell him that he just doesn't have it. Somebody, please. Somebody call Mark Waid and say, hey, we need you on here. Somebody get Joe Kelly. Somebody get Peter David. Somebody get Crystal's fucking Gage, for God's sakes. Get somebody on this title that can save it. I mean, damn. This is getting painful, folks. I mean, it has been painful, but the pain is getting worse. So, once again, we're back to this emotional flip-flopping with Peter when it comes to his beef with Norman Osborn. In the last issue, Peter was literally breaking stuff out of pure anger, out of pure rage. He wanted to get his hands on Norman Osborn so much because he's still carrying that grudge from when he killed Gwen Stacy. I get that. That's believable. That's the right emotion to have for your arch rival. But in this issue, I'm seeing him crack jokes and one-liners and zingers and everything, and pop culture referencing when dealing with Norman Osborn. What the fuck are you choosing to feel, Peter? It is Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin. He killed your love. He killed Gwen Stacy. He was responsible for one of your biggest failures, and you still don't know how to feel about it. Not to mention the garbage of Sable faking her death as if we give a shit. I just accidentally knocked over a bag. Who cares? Not to mention Norman has now been publicly outed. Now everybody knows he's back. And then the bullshit about S.H.I.E.L.D. not wanting to get involved because of reasons. I don't care. And the possibility of S.H.I.E.L.D. actually is now going to start trying to apprehend Peter for causing an international disturbance outside their jurisdiction or whatever. Here's a note to S.H.I.E.L.D. Why don't y'all tuck your dicks between your legs and stay the fuck out of it and let Peter handle this shit? But at the same time, how will Peter handle this shit? He doesn't even know how to fucking emotionally respond to Norman Osborn anymore. It's like one day he's full of rage and this one he's full of jokes. What's the next issue going to be? He's in petrified fear of Norman Osborn? How many more emotional flip-flops can we do before this starts getting satirical? 2 out of 5. At least the cover was bitchin'. I love the covers. Now let's talk about a Spider-Man book the way it should be done. The Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, number 6. Jerry Conway. But Blue, Jerry Conway, he was the one that wrote The Death of Gwen Stacy. His writing is outdated and blah, 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 blah. Jerry Conway is writing this series and making me appreciate it so much, because this feels much more like Amazing Spider-Man than this bullshit does. So it's the Spider Family meets the X-Men. And I gotta look at that cover and I'm like, okay, that is clearly the 90s. That is clearly the 90s X-Men. But I was wrong. This is just what they're dressed under. This is taking place in the current time. There's references to the Superhero Registration Act, and in this universe, in this timeline, the Civil War was avoided because of the Superhero Registration Act. Not to mention, Wolverine and Jean Grey are married in this timeline, and they have a child together. Scott Summers is no longer a Boy Scout. We're seeing it's pretty much the beginning stages of Dick Summers in this timeline at this current point right here. At least they got Magneto's character development right in here. But with an added twist, there's a mole in the X-Men that is actually helping Magneto. And I dare not ruin who it is. This was good. This was really good. If I had to nitpick about this issue, it seemed more like a spotlight on the X-Men than on Peter and his family. There is a pretty good spotlight on Spiderling, their daughter, but it truly does. It did kind of feel more like an X-Men comic featuring Spider-Man and his family rather than Spider-Man. But that's a nitpick. It was still very well done. It was it was still very well executed. The artwork was good. The plot was really good, and that twist at the end was really good. Very, very well done. It gets a 3.5. Okay. Guardians of the Galaxy number 19. This is the last issue for Bendis' run before they hit the reset button to the all-new Guardians of the Galaxy, which I unfortunately am not going to be buying because of how they describe the all-new Guardians of the Galaxy. I could care less that Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde are no longer together. Who fucking cares? Rocket is still Rocket, but for some reason, Groot is back into baby form. Gamora looks weird as shit, and Drax has decided to become a pacifist. He doesn't like violence anymore. That doesn't scream Guardians of the Galaxy to me. So I think I will be happy enough to stop right here. As the finale to Bendis' run goes, it was handled very well. Very, very well. Lots of shit happening here, hence the $5 price tag. Awesome stuff. Could not get enough of this. Another minor nitpick is like, yeah, I could care less about the ending of Peter and Kitty's relationship. I really could care less. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, you just end it and they're fine with it. They were engaged to be married, and it just looked like they decided to just end the relationship, and it just seemed mutual, and they were just like, okay. That's kind of lame and kind of lazy. You had a chance to tell some especially in an oversized book, you had a chance to shoehorn in some drama there. Some real drama to further develop Star-Lord as you go into the next chapter for this group. Plus, you could also develop Kitty Pryde further along as to give her yet another reason to rejoin the X-Men. There was so much potential to do so much more in terms of plot expansion, and you just kind of blew it. The stuff with Thanos and everything was handled very well as well. I really liked the rest of this issue, despite the they weren't major flaws, despite the little flaws that were in the book. As a conclusion, I dug it. It was good. Overpriced, but still worth your time. I give it a 3.5. Spider-Man 2099, number 22. Peter David. I'm going to shake your hand, man. This was great shit. This was really good. You want to talk about outsmarting a motherfucker. You got Miguel and Lila outsmarting this new Electro. The writing and the plot direction was so good. When we got to the twist ending of the book, I was completely taken by surprise. Because the writing was so good. Mr. David, man, you had me fooled. You honestly did. You honestly had me fooled. Very, very good job. Very well done. I was pleasantly surprised by that humongous twist. You M. Night Shyamalan my ass. But in a good way. Trust me, it was in a good way. Very, very good. A 4 out of 5. We're ending this with my pick of the week, folks. Pick of the week goes to X-Men Blue number 1. And I mean, this just barely got it. If I didn't pick this up, this would have got it. Just barely got it. So, another reset button for the X-Men. Let's point out a lot of the stuff that I loved about this issue. 1, the writer, Cullen Bunn. Good choice. Molina's artwork, also really good. Jean Grey is the new leader of the team. That's a plus. The animosity / friendship between the team. That's also really good. The character development was good. The choice for antagonists in this beginning issue was damn good. Loved it. The big shocking twist at who this team, of who the blue team is actually working for. What the fuck? And then the epilogue story reintroducing a certain character from a time long ago. From a universe long ago. That's how I should put it. There was a lot of hits in this issue. Very, very well done. But probably the biggest selling point was the big reveal of who the boss is. Ooh. Talk about a contradiction. But it was so interesting, it just made me go, oh my god, I've got to keep going with this and see where they go. This was amazing. This was really good. Loved it. A 4 out of 5. Well, that's it for this video, everybody. I want to thank y'all for watching. Please stay tuned. And hopefully in the near future for the first episode of Blue versus Gold, where I will talk about X-Men Gold number 1 and X-Men Blue number 1, and I will compare the first issues to see which issue was better. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget my Blugoblin X channel, where I will talk about, where I do Midtown Comics reviews, where I talk about wrestling, or whatever the fuck I want to talk about. Don't forget Arkham Asylum Studio. Don't forget Lenora 2003. Check out episodes of Let's Play Crazy Craft. Of course, y'all know about my shout-outs to all my bros, TheMtVernonKid, Deadpoolzilla, and Brandon Hex, with respect as always. Thanks for watching, everybody. See y'all later.